Finally coming to a halt on Tuesday, the last day of 2024, Belgian ultra-runner Hilde Dosogne felt she had done all to take the world record as the first woman to run a marathon every single day of the year. Weary but seemingly far from exhausted from the weight of relentless marathon running, Dosogne emerged from the cold, gray light to cross the line as a throng of fellow runners celebrated an extraordinary feat. Hilde Dosogne. "I'm glad it's over," she said after crossing the line on the last day, leaving the last crash of many behind her when she collided with a spectator during her final run. On top of the reward for her perseverance in running at least 15,444 kilometers in a single year, the 55-year-old also raised some €60,000, $62,438, in funds for breast cancer research. Now comes the filing of GPS data, photo and video evidence, and independent witness reports she had to collect daily to meet the requirements of the Guinness World Records organization. If approved, the record should be officially hers in about 3 months. The 55-year-old would join Hugo Farias, the Brazilian who holds the male record of 366 days, which he achieved in São Paulo, Brazil, on August 28, 2023. In the female category, Dosogne would be in a league all her own, since the current record by Erkana Murray Bartlett of Australia stands at 150 days since January 16, 2023. One thing is sure, she doesn't want her feat to become a shining example of healthy living, more one of personal persistence, as she had to fight off the flu, COVID-19, a dozen-plus crashes, blisters, and even bursitis. Overall, though, the brain took the toughest beating. Hilde Dosogne. The mental strain is harder than the physical. Of course, physically, everything has to be okay. Otherwise, you can't run for 4 hours every day. But it was more mental to be there at the start line every day. Dosogne was able to do the majority of her marathons on a flat loop around a stretch of water, just outside the university town of Ghent, where a strong headwind could be her toughest competitor. Even there, she said, she would not take any statistical risks, and instead of the 42.195 kilometers or 26.2 miles a day, she made sure her run stood at 42.5 kilometers, just for safe measure with the Guinness administrators. Dosogne wishes she could have stretched her days the same way. As a bioengineer at a chemical firm, she starts especially early so she could squeeze in a marathon every afternoon. And because she could not run at top speed every single day, she stuck to an easy 10 kilometers per hour or 6.2 miles per hour, which also allowed friends and witnesses to run along. The only time when her daughter Lucy felt she might not make it was the day she crashed after 27 kilometers, had to be taken to the emergency ward with a dislocated finger, and spent far too much time there to be allowed to finish the marathon by the regulation. The solution. Lucy Dosogne. She started from scratch again. "It's still a little bit crooked," said Dosogne.